everybody. My name is Danielle Norwood, and I'm the host of the Danielle Norwood Show on 580 WIBW and FM News 1049. And we have a special segment for you today online. We're going to be spending a few minutes talking to Bill Persinger, who's the Chief Executive Officer at Valeo Behavioral Healthcare, and Bill Cochran, who is the Chief of Staff for the city, for their upcoming series called Resiliency in response to COVID-19. And this virtual series has been designed for first responders and healthcare professionals. And we're going to learn more about it in the next couple of minutes. So, gentlemen, thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Pleasure.
So, Bill Persinger, because we have two Bills today, so I'm going to call you Chief Cochran, Chief, because you are the Chief of Staff. I'll call you Chief, and then I'll call Bill, Bill. But Bill Persinger, how do you think that first responders have been uniquely impacted by COVID?
You know, from day one, our healthcare workers and professionals, our first responders of all kinds, law enforcement, firefighters, other ambulance responders, and they jumped in, sometimes literally with both feet, with not having much information at all, because we didn't know much back in February and March when we all began to be impacted by this. And I'm sure that when the calls started coming in, they were interacting with the public and just doing their everyday job, coming into contact with something that no one knew anything about. And I know a lot of individual varied reactions to that, but they just set their fears and their apprehensions and the lack of information aside and went ahead and did their jobs. And that has an impact on people, and we just want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to take care of those folks and show them the respect that they deserve. And, offering up a workshop and a chance to learn and process and get permission to talk and, feel comfortable with their peers is a good thing. But I think them jumping in without having much information and responding and doing their duty is admirable. Was raised by a law enforcement officer, and I have great respect for what they do. So just, we're just glad to offer up something. Glad to be with the chief again, too.
Well, Chief, why do you think that this is important for first responders?
Well, I think it's important because the message that they need to hear is even though they're in the trenches day in and day out, there's a lot of support for them, and giving them that moral and emotional support, as well as some life-saving skills. A lot of them already know those skills, but sometimes maybe it's just a reminder, and maybe they'll pick up some new skills that they can pass along to somebody else who's in the front lines dealing with this.
Bill, what are the seminars about?
Well, we just want to make sure that we validate folks and that they have an open forum to learn. These will be workshops on identifying, one's particular stressors, looking at your strengths, your weaknesses, learning about, to identify trauma in oneself and others, information about families and communities and just a great way to learn more about how children and adults might react, but just to add information that will add to their toolbox of personal and professional strengths.
Chief, you have a seminar coming up on March 2nd. What is it that you would like to share with our viewers about that? What's one point you'd like to give?
Well, I think the first session that we do on March 2nd is really just laying that foundation as to why this is important and why we're doing it. This is something that Gary Napier came to me back before the first of the year, and we started working on it. And I'd already talked to some people, talked to some of our chaplains when I was at the police department about how do we do something? How do we deal with those individuals that are out there on the front line day in and day out, right, give them the resources and ability to be resilient, to, as we like to say, get back into the fight, come in and day out and do their jobs, do it professionally, and still with all the cautions, concerns that everybody in the world has.
Bill, who are some of the other speakers going to be?
Well, we have a great cross sampling of some awesome people in our community. Folks representing faith-based community and healthcare and behavioral health. People trained in medicine and psychology and nursing and the pastoral community. Tobias Schlingensiepen and Stephanie Davis and others who can jump in there, Gary and his unique set of skills. So a great lineup of a number of different professionals. And, I think they'll just, give people more information they can use while they're on the job. Understanding a suicide, its, implications of stress and ongoing depression. And again, how can we help folks be strong and utilize the personal skills and attributes that they already have, build on their strengths.
Chief, have you been able to be involved with Valeo's work in the community?
Well, I always have a soft spot for Valeo. I was on the board of directors for many years, but they're also very instrumental when I went to them and we wanted to get a crisis responders program started with the police department. Valeo was right there hand in hand with us. When we developed our CIT program, Valeo was right there in our hip pocket as well. So the relationship and partnership that I personally have with Valeo, I'm very fond of, but also the partnership that they have with the Topeka Police Department and Topeka Fire Department is outstanding.
So, Bill, can people sign up for a few of these, or do they have to attend all of them? And how can people register?
Think of it as a menu. People can attend one or all 9. There are credits given for their professional continuing education. And I see that the registration is going across the bottom there. In short, you can go to KEMSA, KEMSA.org, and I think it'll pop up there. But there's the / entries that can be made. People can choose from the ones that interest them the most or all of them. Each could be taken separately in and of itself. But I think at the end of the day, if people attend several of these or all these, they'll see how all that information weaves together into a new learning whole for the individual. But again, they can pick and choose. All the seminars are at 4:00. And so we just encourage folks to sign up. These are free of charge. And as expensive as it is to go to classes and workshops and in-service to keep up one's license, this is a great way to pick up some hours and to learn to build one's personal skill set as well.
And Chief, if someone has questions, who do they need to contact?
Well, they can get a hold of Gary Napier. His name's also going there across the bottom. And I think one of the other things that I need to point out is, even though we're going to be streaming these live on Friday or at 4:00 at those days, we're also going to be recording those. And so what we're going to be able to do is push out these training modules to individual companies and partners and first responders, so they can view them at their pace and when they need to view them, or because not everybody's going to be able to make it at 4:00 when they're live streamed. But initially they'll be live streamed, but then they'll be available to everybody.
Well, such great information that you're sharing with us. Thank you both for being on with us today. And if you would like to check out more about the Resiliency in Response to COVID-19 series, you can go to valeotopeka.org. That's VALEO Topeka.org. And if you want more information or to register, you can also go to our Alpha Media Stations Facebook pages. I'm Danielle Norwood, hoping that you'll make the best of your day.